Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to touch upon a subject that comes up regularly in our Monday Q&As, Matty Boy. We were talking about this earlier.
I believe weekly.
Weekly, yep. Multiple times, even perhaps within the same Q&A.
Yes.
Lots of you are still looking for guidance when it comes to matching up a fairway wood shaft that complements a driver shaft that you really like. A line that we can do that, I think, very easily and kind of explain some of the characteristics that we want in a fairway wood versus a driver is with the Ventus line.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely of the modern line of shafts, Matty, it's where the white board, blue board, red board used to be. Mm-hmm. The Ventus blue, Ventus black and Ventus red, people know the launch characteristics of black, blue, red.
Right, exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we're going to test in the middle. Blue Ventus is something we use a lot in our testing. It's kind of like, you know, home base for us.
It is.
So we're going to test a little bit with that and talk about how the red, blue and black would kind of fit in with that. And is there merit to simply just, if you want to hit it higher with your fairway wood, go red. If you want to hit it lower, go black. I think people still are curious about that. They're
curious, and I think the most common question that comes up is, should it match? Should my driver shaft match the fairway wood shaft?
Definitely.
And then you get the question, I think from the slightly more, I guess, educated consumer, which is, I have this in the driver, what should I put in a 3-wood?
Yeah, so within the same line of shaft, you're likely to have lots of similarities, lots of, lots of characteristics that are kind of, in keeping, just subtle modifications to the butt flex or the midsection or the tip section. Torque won't be strained. I mean, if you hit one Ventus, you probably feel very comfortable within either side of that, especially if you're in the blue.
Yeah.
Maybe going black to red, it might be a little bit different. But if you're in the blue, I think strain either side of that shouldn't be a shock to the system, but you should see enough of a performance increase that it makes it worth your while.
Yeah, no, that makes sense for sure.
Okay,
yeah.
Right, let's hit a few with yours in the Ventus Blue 6X.
That was really close. That was a really good strike that I just left the fraction open. That's hit really well.
Beauty.
Really well.
That's better, Matty Boy.
That's hit well. Maybe a fraction thin, but good drive. That felt really good.
That's awesome.
Out the middle, I think.
Lovely.
Straight one. Very straight.
All right, Matty Boy, so on the driver delivery, we've kind of got you pretty much where we want you. Strike is straight a little bit heel side. That's explaining where the spin, launch and spin are in the low launch, higher spin element for us today.
From the strike?
Yeah, purely from that. But from a club delivery standpoint, 120 or 119.5, 17, hitting up 2 degrees, slight from the inside, face close to the path. You're kind of doing everything right.
Yeah.
Just that strike is straying a little bit heel side, so good day to test this, I think. So why don't we grab TSR2, 15 degree, pop in Ventus blue.
Same shaft we just hit in the driver.
Same guy. And then give us some baseline numbers with this and tell us, like, from an experience standpoint, from a player's experience standpoint, what is it? Does it feel the same? And then when we go into red and black,
gotcha.
How does it differ? A beauty.
Nice one to start. A little knuckly, but really good. That was a more regular strike. A little bit more towards the center of the face, not so high. Still flew far though.
Still about 260 in the fly, which is ideal.
Ball speed's good.
Yeah, wow. Big jump.
That was nice.
That's lovely. That was lovely.
Very nice feeling 3-wood.
So seeing Ventus blue fairway wood come out right in the middle, right kind of where we want, 260, 10.5 launch, 34 in the spin, 160 ball. I mean, fantastic. Right, really, really good.
Yeah.
So in terms of the delivery, this is where it's going to get important. Looking at dynamic loft, how our face to path sort of changes from shaft to shaft.
Yes.
This truly is the benchmark. I think if you were in the bay with me right now, Matty, and you asked me, can I just match up my driver shaft to fairwood? For you, I'd say yes in this instance.
Yeah, I was just going to say to you, I actually think this would be totally fine as a 3-wood shaft. We've hit it many times, to be fair.
Yeah.
But the experience of hitting it, like you said, it's just felt like the club's in the same place. You can feel it the same. It's kind of kicking in the same places.
Totally.
Not going to be the case for everybody, but yeah, I agree with you. I would play that.
Straight away.
Yeah.
Easy, easy. Okay, so let's go red.
Sure.
All right, so switched out into the Ventus red, Matty, the original red, not the new TR. Stiffer handle than blue, softer tip section than blue.
Gotcha.
Right, so we should feel pretty good, pretty stable, but you know, whether we'll see, vertical movement, whether we'll see lateral movement will be the interesting thing here.
Gotcha. Towed it a little bit, but it's a good hit.
Wow, it's flown forever.
It's a bomb. Yeah, like a little higher in the face and a little bit more toe side. And still quick though. That's a better, like a normal strike.
Wow.
It's a really nice flight. I feel like I can hit that. I wouldn't be surprised if that was higher than the blue.
Launching higher, spinning less.
That's cool. Because the strike location's higher.
Yeah, exactly. Like, guys, that's where we have the sort of tagline, or so we obviously say shafts don't spin.
Yeah.
They create launch conditions that dictate launch and spin. And this is a perfect scenario. So, we are seeing where Matty is launching at higher, spinning at less. Well, that's what we know happens higher in the head.
Give me your theory as to why someone like me, is that a deflection thing?
It's a timing thing, it's a deflection thing. Whatever led to feeling like you can deliver this, there's an acceleration pattern to the shaft deflection.
Yeah.
You've gained a mile an hour and a half of club head speed there. That's
really interesting.
Lot. Right, dynamic loft is actually the same, half a degree in attack angle. So yeah, you are slightly delivering less spin loft, but very, very close.
And in the field, just something mentally, I felt like I could give it a little bit of extra kind of pop to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, after hitting the blue, you're right, I would have left the fitting shop happy.
Yep.
But after hitting the red, you would definitely have my attention, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You'd be like, I could live with 11.5 and 3,200 at 163 ball speed.
It'd be great.
Kind of perfect.
Kind of perfect, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's do one more and then we'll hit black.
It's good too. I think I hit them all in the same place. The
really
strikes
good.
felt really similar.
When you hit a green in regulation from 275 yards.
You'd have an easy sail. It's quick as hell. Look at that.
Yeah,
roasted. Yeah, you wouldn't have to do too much convincing. I don't think I've seen two shafts in Fairwood perform that different for me before.
I know.
It's amazing how much different that flight is. But really cool. I like that it's not the expected result. And that's why people can't just assume, oh, I'm the blue guy.
Yep.
Because I wouldn't normally think I was the red guy.
Definitely.
But if I was looking for that flight, which I think most people would agree is perfect Fairwood flight, the red is the one that did it.
Shafts generally, when they kick, Matty, softer shafts will kick out more and forward more. Right, we're seeing that instance in both of those there.
Yeah.
Slightly less down. So would it kind of give us the perception that you're getting a little bit more lead deflection, and you're kicking out a little bit more in terms of the path? That's good.
That's really cool.
Really, really good. And that's where your face angle staying open to the path. Here it's closed to the path.
Yeah.
So plus the strike point.
Yep, slightly
Right, so
toe side.
Gearing it back ever so slightly.
I think if I was to have like a functional thought about it, I would think, okay, well, do I want to draw my 3-wood? And I think about a lot of holes at my home course. A draw 3-wood would be great.
Yep.
So it would be a factor in my decision. I'm sure I could fade it if I worked on it, but you know what I mean? As a stock shot, it's nice to see that even the shape of the ball flight can change.
Okay, let's go into black. Ventus black, the big boy's shaft.
Yeah.
Definitely, by far the stiffest profile of these three. Kind of a similar handle profile to the red,
right?
But it stays progressively stiffer as it obviously goes down. A little soft in the midsection, but very, very tip stiff.
So someone's just finished their driver fit. They've got the Ventus blue as their fit. generally the fitting team's not going to hand them the Ventus black and the Fairway wood. It's worth a
would be-
shot,
yeah.
but probably not. Kind
It
of
would
thing.
be highly unlikely you're going
Yeah.
to go from blue to black. You know, go from black to blue would be
Yes.
conventional thinking, but
Yeah.
yeah, this we wouldn't, unless we saw something in your flight that we wanted to sort of adjust for, but
Right.
highly unlikely.
I was still curious what it's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
That felt good.
That was really nice.
That looks like it's.
The highest? Yeah,
I
it
was
does,
just going to
doesn't it?
say that. Is that the highest flight yet?
Seemed that way. It didn't quite have the same, like the red to me looked like it screamed off the face.
100%.
So look where you've struck that there.
That's good.
Right out the meat. It's the highest spin of the bunch.
Love it.
Welcome to TXG.
Oh, this is the best. Did it retain dynamic loft? Is that why?
Yeah,
Yeah, to some degree.
yeah. Face was the most open.
Uh-huh.
Attack angle, the shallowest. Interesting.
That is interesting. I wonder if the deflection of the other two actually steepened it a bit for me.
Yeah, and there's other parts of the brain that say this is the
Yes.
stiffest, this should fly the lowest.
Yep.
I'm probably going to have to retain some dynamic loft through my delivery here. Nice.
Nice, yeah. Just a little higher in the face, and probably a little bit closer to the toe. It's a little lower in the face. Still felt good, but a couple grooves below center, which I really didn't. I don't think I accessed that part of the face with the other two.
No.
It's good. Little
Happy
draw.
with it? Yeah, good strike.
I'd be happy with it. Pretty close to the middle of the face, I think.
Okay, so as the kind of session, wore on, that spin rate kind of stayed up there at 37.
It did, yeah.
I kind of was expecting, to be honest, that spin rate to come down a little bit over time, but it didn't. Launch and spin, very interesting enough, were in favour of the red. Speed was in favour of the red.
Yes. Consistency, like the dispersion was in favor of the red
it
too.
was very, very good. It felt easier for you to kind of push draw it.
Agreed.
Starting out to the left, then coming back, and yeah, black you struck really, really nicely.
Lots of efficiency coming out of the black. That's interesting.
Yep, and then retaining that shallowest out of all of them in terms of the angle of attack. So
No, that's an interesting result. It's not, as I said, the blue felt comfortable. If you gave me 160 ball speed, 10.5, 3,400, I'd say thanks, bring me up.
yep,
I think that was fine.
totally.
But it actually, ironically, I would have more of a choice. I'd hit more balls with red and black. Like if I had time in my fit still,
Yeah.
I'd ask you maybe to switch back one more time
Sure.
before I made my decision.
For sure. And guys, that's why you can never really predict. I mean, we try to help you guys as much as we can with answers to your questions around what shafts you should use or what combinations. If you use this, what should you use in a fairway, that
Yeah.
type of thing. This is why it's so difficult because, the variables that are at play, I know Matt's swing intimately inside and out. I know exactly what he's likely to do. I couldn't probably have predicted that red was going to be that good for you there.
Me neither.
So it's really, really hard to do, and why we encourage you guys to get into the bay, get into the fitting environment and test it. If it's something you're curious about, if you've got a driver that's performed well, a shaft that you love, and you want to know what fairway wood is going to match up really nicely, go in and test it, go through the process.
It's trial and error or nothing.
It has
right?
to be.
Because this is not the expected result.
We knew well enough in order to grab a head and shaft that started you in a really playable starting point.
Yes.
And then we've just subtly nudged the kind of strike and all these delivery characteristics. We were not far off at all by picking TSR2 and Ventus Blue, but we just either side of that we were able to nudge the variable slightly and see quite a jump in carry, 10 yards.
Well, it's totally different. Yeah, totally different flight.
Definitely.
That was really cool.
Pretty cool. Okay, guys, another example of just not really being able to predict club fitting. You just have to go through the process. I don't care what algorithm or what program, predicting the kind of result for somebody, whatever that would be, you're going to need to go through it yourself.
Yeah.
I think what we saw, like we said in Matt's delivery, is we're not dealing with robots here. We're not dealing with the exact same delivery every time. what can the subconscious do to create impact on the conscious mind? Matt, probably we would suggest by looking at the difference here, you probably felt like Ventus Black being the stiffest, you probably have to help it a little bit shallow out just a touch. I mean, there's no other excuse really, because it's not a deflection, difference.
No, we do the opposite, if anything.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. I think that exposed a lot of the subtleties of fitting, just hitting a few fairway wood shots.
Definitely.
Really interesting.
Love it, love it. Okay, guys, hopefully this one's perked some curiosity for you guys. Well worth diving into the club data page and understanding the numbers yourself. Look at the strike implications. I mean, blue and black lined up really nicely there, and then toe. The red was slightly more in the toe strike. So, one is going to be better than the other for every different player. So know exactly what your pattern and what your DNA is. That's the secret to making all those little subtle marginal gains that you'll get from speed, launch and spin. Makes the world of difference when you're looking to put that whole package together. So more videos we were just talking about coming back, and it's been a while since we've done these types of videos, the ones that we probably enjoy the most.
This was a great session, yeah, I loved it.
Really, really cool to see the subtleties to it. So definitely you'll see more from us with that in the next upcoming weeks.
Look forward to it.
Okay, stay tuned for more. We'll see you again soon.